Hi, welcome to Truth with Tal and Isaac. I'm Tal.
I'm Isaac.
Episode number 103 coming at you tonight. Big story, down goes Boston. We'll talk a little about the Lakers and Nuggets, NBA Finals preview, and the best movie endings of all time.
Right on.
Cool. Off the top, real quick, Guardians of the Galaxy, number 3. Fun movie. Go see it.
It's an excellent movie. Loved it. The more I think about it, the more I like it. Great job. Good bounce back for Marvel. Needed that one.
We haven't recorded since the NBA lottery happened. That sucked. Moving on.
Yep.
Shout out to Jake Foster for Totally Not the Mafia podcast. They had us on. Well, Jake and his people had us on. We'll put a link on our page so that we can listen to
I think
us.
I already did, but that's fine.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Tiger games. We went to 3 Tiger games in the last 5 days. That's pretty good.
Yeah, respectfully, I'm built like that. I didn't think you were anymore, but you were able to stick through 5 games. So
I still got that, and I took no naps. Zero naps.
At the game, but when you nap before and after, it still counts as a nap.
No, I don't. Okay, maybe I had a nap before the game on Saturday.
Yeah, and it started at 1 p.m.
No,
so just
I did not have a nap on Saturday.
I would hope not, because the game started at 1. We left at 11. So the nap timelines, it really doesn't work, respectfully, to the nap.
Anyway, 3 games, lots of fun, bark in the park. Moving on. NHL. I'm not what you call an NHL aficionado. It's something that's just kind of fallen out of our radar, but man, the games are all in overtime. It's exciting stuff.
It's exciting. You're watching. You're watching a lot.
No,
but it's exciting.
The NHL people who are all over the place tell us how exciting it is.
Okay.
Real traditional finals. It's like original 6, like Chicago, Detroit, Toronto, some of those teams.
No, it's not. It's
Florida
not
and Vegas.
Yeah, we're riding with Florida, respectfully.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll know why.
Kachuk.
Yeah, but we're going for
Florida. You want to jump right into Miami?
Yes, please.
I'd like Isaac to talk about his outfit.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So those on YouTube will notice I am in all black. I have my black Jimmy jersey, my first Jimmy jersey. It's very emotional. And then a black suit jacket here with a little bit of a pink pocket square.
Jimmy Butler.
Okay. Now, you might be saying, why all black? Because this episode is the Celtics funeral episode. With all due respect to the Celtics fans in our lives, we are burying them tonight. We are celebrating their downfall. Hence, the all-black outfit, because we are at the Boston Celtics funeral.
Sorry, Uncle Phil.
Sorry, Colin.
Sorry, Colin.
Sorry, Mr. Chitterow.
Sorry, Mr. Chitts.
My grade 10 geography teacher, who I've been chirping about the Celtics since I was in grade 10.
Okay.
So, there's a lot of different...
The first number we have to put out is the 97% number.
Okay, go ahead.
That has to be talked about.
Explain it for the folks.
So ESPN decided in their infinite wisdom, with all their math geniuses and sports metrics guys, said Boston has a 97% chance of winning the series. Really? So if you put down $3, does that mean you win $97? How does that work, actually?
No, it doesn't work like that. Because
we're
looking at percentages here, not Vegas odds.
Okay.
Vegas odds, the Celtics were a minus 600 favorite going into the series. Those who don't know betting, basically, you need to put down a lot of money on Boston to return any kind of money. And for Miami, you only need to put down a little bit and you'll make a lot of money. Okay, keep going.
So Boston added... So a team that lost in the finals barely to Golden State added Malcolm Brogdon, the 6th man of the year, and Danilo Gallinari, who I love. Unfortunately, he got injured. And they lost their coach just because he does bad things.
Yep.
So what happened? They lost.
They lost. There's a lot of different angles.
Let's dig into this. What 3 or 4 key reasons why they lost?
But that's not... I didn't lay out my notes like that. So
okay,
I'll
just go.
So I had 3-0 Heat notes, which were really positive. And then
there was a lot of editing in the last week.
A lot of editing. And then I had 3-1 Heat notes. And then I had 3-2 Heat notes.
Then you stopped.
No. And then I jumped to 4-3 Celtics notes. And then it came back to 4-3 Heat notes. And this is what I have. I have 4-3 Heat notes in front of us. Let's just say right off the bat, I need to apologize to Jimmy.
You need to apologize to me, too.
Why? I'm sorry, but why?
Because you gave up.
Okay, but you're not on the Heat, right? I'm sorry, but...
It's true.
So here's Jimmy, I know you listen, man. I've already texted you. I already apologized. I texted him. I said, I'm sorry. That's serious. It's a fact. I texted him. And he didn't open it yet.
Okay.
I just got to apologize to him here. I doubted him. For some reason, I foolishly bought into the 3% number. That's my fault. I should not have bought into that. I should not have bought into Vegas. I should not have bought into every single person on the planet picking Boston. That's my bad. Jimmy, I'm sorry, man. Okay. So that down out of the way. Heat go up 3-0. Game 1 and 2, straight up, just great Jimmy games. They were Jimmy wins. Game 1 was all Jimmy. Game 2 was a lot of Jimmy and then a lot of Boston. And then it was a couple minutes of Grant Williams, and then it was a lot of Jimmy. Any thoughts on that before I keep going?
Nope, keep rolling.
Oh, I thought you had some Grant Williams comments. Nothing?
No, not yet. You're rolling.
Okay. So, first 2 games were just Jimmy wins. So, Jimmy's up 2-0. Game 3, Miami goes back to Miami, shoots the absolute lights out. Gabe Vincent goes for 29. Miami shot like 57% from 3. Like, it was just first game back to Miami, up 2-0. Fans were into it, and they blew them out. So, you've got 3-0 Miami right now. And then what happened? A couple things. The Heat got cold, and the Celtics got hot, is probably the biggest one, straight up. Miami's injuries worsened. Yeah, go ahead.
And I will say, Boston concentrated on defense for all 24 seconds of the shot clock. That was key.
And that's not something they've been able to do a lot of playoffs, right? Like Atlanta took them 6, it took Philly 7, and they lost the first 3 in Miami. A lot of it is because of defense. Yeah, so why did Boston win 3 in a row? Really quickly, I'm not going to credit Boston a ton here with all due respect.
They're better.
I'll credit a couple things. One, they are such a well-constructed roster. Like, that team is so well-built, regardless of having Dano. Like, the amount of pieces, the White and Brogdon pieces, the flexibility with Tatum and Brown, having 2 great bigs, one that can shoot, one that's just like an elite rover, rebound, alley-oop guy, and Rob Williams. They've just got so many pieces. And then they have Marcus Smart. And I'm not a Marcus Smart guy. I never have been. I don't think you are. I don't think many are.
I think he's a pretty good defensive player and should never be your 3rd option on offense. He needs to be your 5th option on offense. And what happens is people realize that he's the 3rd option, so they double Tatum, they double Brown. Marcus gets the ball, and he misses so many times in late game situations. Marcus ends up taking the shot, and he's about 1 for 20. Bill Simmons has the exact stat, but it's terrible.
Well, it's been like that the past 6 years. Smart's always kind of had this competitive, and we can do a little deep dive. I got a name popped into my head for Boston, and I don't want Boston to hear this. Do you think any Boston Celtics executives listen to the podcast?
No, but Uncle Phil does, and Uncle Phil's got some connections to Boston. So Uncle Phil, sorry, you got to turn this off.
Mike Conley is the perfect point guard for the Boston Celtics. Perfect point guard. Just putting that out there. Hope no Boston guys hear this, because Mike Conley in a Celtics jersey is going to scare me. Just putting that out there. That's who they need.
Okay.
That's a fact. That's really good, isn't it?
That's pretty good. I think Conley doesn't have much left in the tank.
Yeah, but Conley's my guy.
Okay.
So why did Boston win 3 in a row? I got to credit Boston for getting things together a bit and having the mental strength to win 3 games in a row. That's not easy to do in the playoffs. So Miami's injuries got worse. Their shooting wavered. The whistle challenges, I'm going to try to keep this brief. I don't think they were great. Again, a little bias here. A lot of Celtics fans think they were awful too, kind of both ways. I think it was terrible both ways, but there was a couple challenges that I didn't really like the outcome in a couple calls. Thoughts?
Agree. I don't think the officiating was slanted in any one direction. I just think it was inconsistent and relatively poor, but it luckily didn't affect the outcome of the series.
Correct. So now I've got a lot of places. Do you want to play the injury game or no? Because I have
both teams had lots of injuries. Tatum's injury, I think Miami didn't adjust to it. Now, part of it is you just compare the Bulldog that is Jimmy Butler with a bad ankle
and a bad knee.
And a bad knee, and the Cocker Spaniel that's Tatum. Does that sound fair?
I don't know, like a soft little dog, as if you want to do dog takes for Tatum.
Let's be honest and say that I'm never going to be a head coach in the NBA, but I could be one of those second row guys.
Sure, be careful here.
So if I was going to be a second row guy and Tatum gets injured and I see his mobility, and then I see Miami pulling out the zone, you know what I'm doing? This is a good analogy.
So I know, but
I told you already.
But you can say it.
I do a small ball 5 with Tatum at the 5. He's catching a high post. He can turn around and hit a J, or surround himself with shooters. Now they're not all great shooters, but Brown, White.
You can surround a great shooting lineup around Tatum.
Smart and
Horford.
Probably Horford or Grant. Probably Grant.
It would be great.
Or maybe even you go a little goofier and you put Brogdon out there as well. Like, that's not bad. Like, here's the thing. The biggest guy on Miami is 6'9", who has virtually no low post game, especially in the playoffs.
I want to talk briefly about Bam in a little bit.
Good defense player.
Are we doing the Bam thing now? No, we're not.
No, let's talk a little bit more about what Boston... So injuries affected both teams. Miami reacted to the injuries much better. The people that needed to step up for Miami did. The Vincents, the Martins of the world, for small stretches, like a couple minutes here, a couple minutes there, Love at the beginning of the series. I call him Hightower, but Highsmith. Like, they just did enough. Lowry, most of the time, played poop, but he had a couple stretches where he had impact. Boston guys, other than White, I don't think anybody stepped up. Brown just kept throwing the ball to guys in Miami or kept dribbling off his feet or whatever. The parquet floor at Boston Garden.
You're covering so much stuff. So, like,
there's so many thoughts.
But like the Jaylen Brown 8 turnovers in Game 7, that's worth 4 minutes. You just did it in 10 seconds.
Let's talk about Jaylen Brown a little bit.
Oh, we're so okay. Jaylen Brown. I will say, while I have buried the Celtics this episode, hence the All Black, I think Jaylen Brown stays. I think they pay him, and I probably think they keep Mazzulla. So, look, I understand the whole Brown thing. Every time it was him going left and a double collapsing often. Sometimes he just lost the ball. And we knew this. We saw this last year. Miami kind of showed flashes of this in last year's conference finals, and then the Warriors really exploited it in the finals last year. And then it's really been a storyline, I think, all year, all playoffs long. Jaylen Brown not being able to dribble, playmaking hasn't come, and here we are with 8 turnovers and an awful shooting night in the biggest game of his life.
I know there's been a lot of discussion about them not signing him. How can they sign him? There always seems to be discussion, and it seems like everybody signed those players, right? Like, if you have a max player, you sign him, and then maybe you trade him after the fact, but you don't let him go.
It's a very good take, and I agree with you.
Like, think about it. Blake Griffin, there was some debate. Well, they signed him, and then they traded him. Ayton, there's a lot of discussion about not signing him. Somebody gave him an offer sheet. They matched.
And the whole thing with the thing about the current NBA is it doesn't matter how many years are under contract. You can request a trade with 4 years or 5 years under contract.
Correct.
See Kevin Durant. See Luka Doncic when he requests a trade in a couple of years, right? Like, there's just going to be a
See Harden every couple months.
Yeah, easily. Kyrie, right? So you have
every couple weeks.
Yeah, every couple of weeks, like over under like 13.5 days for Kyrie to cross travel.
Yeah.
That's the Brown piece of it. I think he stays in Boston. I think he's a very nice player. I don't know if he can be a 2 on a championship team. I think he can be. But you need someone who's a little more alpha than Tatum. But that's a whole different conversation. I'm going to go a little bit back here to the basketball here. Bam Adebayo, I don't want to talk about too much. He was awful all series offensively. Awful. Game 4 highlighted this when he had 10 points, 5 boards, no assists, 4 turnovers, 4 fouls, no blocks, 1 steal in 35 minutes. He was abysmal out there. I'm not a Bam offensive guy. He's a really good guy. I'm rooting for him. But, man, it's really tough to win when he is a max player and he's your second guy.
Is he a max player?
Yeah.
Good defensive player. He was last year, I think he was a slightly above average offensive player. He seems to have lost that touch. He used to have a mid-range jump shot. He used to have some hook shots.
Yeah, well, he had that
now
in like
he's
2020.
got like nothing.
So now we're going to talk about something a little
Alley-oops.
happier. Yeah. We're going to talk more about Caleb Martin towards the end of this when I just present some numbers.
Okay.
Caleb Martin had an absolutely phenomenal series against the Celtics. I've been a Caleb Martin guy, honestly, since Nevada. I remember watching him and his brother at Nevada, and I really liked.
Didn't Charlotte have both of them?
Charlotte had both, and Michael Jordan said no. Cody is the brother. Cody was a little bit of a punk, and Caleb was always the level-headed one, is kind of how I remember them from college. And I always liked him. And honestly, all year, you've been saying, I really like Caleb Martin.
Yeah.
And then every time you say that, I'm like, so do I, but not as my second option. Well, here he is. He's our second option, and we just won the conference finals, we being me and Jimmy, against the best seed in the NBA still alive. Because Correct. Boston would have had home court against Denver.
Best record, not best seed.
Well, yeah, best record, best overall seed in the NBA playoffs. Because the Bucks had one, and I'm not sure what happened to them. I think we gentlemanly swept them.
They lost.
So now I'm going to talk a little more about the Celtics here after I already did my band thing. I got to credit Boston, like I said, winning 3 games in a row, super difficult. No matter how big of a favorite you are, no matter how much better your roster is, 3 games in a row in the playoffs, super hard to do.
Agreed.
Respect to Boston.
Yep.
It's the only time I'm going to say that. The Celtics talked a whole lot of crap for having a 97% chance to win the series per ESPN and being a minus 600 favorite. I'm looking at Smart, Brown, and Brogdon were the 3 that just kept, don't let us get one, don't let us give it, you can't, we're coming, just the Brogdon, every game they'd lose, it was 3-0, and Brogdon's like, we're the better team, we're the better team, we believe we're the better.
But you lost.
Just shut up and just say, just trying to take care of business, next game, one game at a time. That's your answer. I just gave you your answer, Celtics. I'm your PR guy. Did not like those guys talking so much crap for being that big a favorite. Do you have anything there?
Again, Boston, they tried to paint themselves as the underdog.
When
the number's 97, that doesn't fly. Right?
Even when you're down 3-0.
Maybe it's trying to motivate them, but I don't really get it. I think it's just pissing Miami off, pissing Jimmy off more. That was a bad play.
So the Celtics had the best shot of coming back 3-0 in NBA history. And
For lots of reasons.
And the main one is because they had the slimmest chances in going down 3-0 in NBA history in a conference finals.
Yeah, they had the best record of all the other previous examples of that. They were the only team that was facing a team that had a negative winning record during the regular season.
Negative point differential.
Yep.
It's improbable.
They had home court advantage.
Yeah, it's improbable that a top 2 seed and one that is this well constructed, not like a sus 2 seed, like a legit 2 seed, loses to a bottom seed team like this. It doesn't happen. This is a cosmic fluke, as Tony Stark would say, statistical anomaly. This stuff doesn't happen, and it just happened. I don't care if it took 7 and it got a little close at the end. I'm going to talk about Game 6 here. So this was the Heat's game. Boston went ice cold. We were going back to our home court in Miami, and Miami got hot again from 3 this game. Miami was awful in the paint. I think a lot of that's a lack of calls. And if you go back and look at the tape, length was scaring them down low, and then not being able to land was scaring them.
Yeah, Jimmy doesn't have any lift right now.
Thank you.
That's very relevant.
I just said Jimmy couldn't get any calls, but yeah, like you could tell that Jimmy was very hesitant. He talked about it today in his presser. His ankle is not good, respectfully.
Crap.
I'll show you the presser. He was like, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to play. And it's like, that's sick.
Dog.
We'll talk about what I have down here. So Vincent, Bam, Strus, Lowry, and Zeller in Game 6 were all pretty streaky. Duncan Robinson and Caleb Barton were 2 huge pieces in Game 6. Yep. Huge pieces.
Now, Dunk got a little bit of heat for missing a couple of threes. Okay, we're not there. You go.
So Game 6 happens, and Jimmy's coming back, and I'm still not buying in, and then I'm looking away because I can't really look, and I'm really nervous, and Dunk's misses some looks, and we'll just Derek White tip. This is something I'm never going to forget, ever, 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 and I'm so glad Miami won this series, because this would have been, like, this is all time.
This was Bird stole the ball.
Yep, like this would have stuck with me forever.
Bird stole the ball in the DJ, like that's it.
Yep, so I'm not even going to talk about the sus time adding. There's so many numbers here, basically.
Both teams deserved to lose that game.
Yeah.
Boston got lucky to win to force Game 7. Now people are going to remember more about that series. 3-0, 3-3, Boston pooped the bed.
97-3. People are going to remember that number.
Those are numbers that are going to stick.
I'm not going to delve into the time controversy here, but can I? Do I
a little bit. Yeah, you got a little bit.
3.0 seconds. So 3.0 seconds is what the smart inbounds was at. Okay? 2.1 is the original time that Jimmy was shooting the throws at, okay? If you go back and watch the tape, the foul occurs at about 2.7, 2.8. The whistle is blown at about 2.4. And then we come to 3.0. So objectively and respectively,
2.4, 2.5, something like that.
3.0 they pulled out of their butt. That's just not, like, it's not right. And luckily, we didn't lose the series off of this, but like go back and watch tape. I'm not making this up. Then on the inbounds, maybe this is just me being delusional. Looks like 1 or 2 tenths run off the clock before it starts after Smart's catch. I don't know if you went back and saw that.
I did not. You told me about it.
It looks to start a little late. Again, I understand that I may be delusional. I understand that. So really quickly, I was almost in Miami for that game. Me and a buddy had pretty deep negotiations, and we were close to hopping on a plane and going to this game. Just want to say, happens for a reason. So glad I wasn't there, because I don't even know if I would. I might have just stayed. I might have just said, sorry, I can't catch a flight. Like, I'm just going to be in the arena until they kick me out, and in the airport until they kick me out, because it was so devastating. I was distraught. Okay, that's enough sadness. Game 7. I will let you run with Game 7 for a bit, and then I will chime in.
Okay, so here's the thing about Game 7. Boston was at home, all the momentum.
Like a 9-point favorite.
Yeah, 9-point favorite. Playing with lots and lots of confidence. And listen, I don't want that much attention to be paid to Tatum's injury.
Let's do it.
I think the biggest reason why Boston lost is because they lost their focus on defense. There's a lot of talk about how Miami made all these threes and these guys stepped up. Well, guess what? They were open because Boston would play great D for 17 or 18 or 19 or 20 seconds. And then they would ease up. Then they'd lose their concentration. Smart would bitch about a call. And then Caleb Martin or Dunk, they'd be open.
Or how about Jimmy, May?
Jimmy, too. Jimmy started off with a bit of a rough game, but he finished strong. And listen, the reason why Boston lost is because they lost their cool, they lost their concentration, they got out coached they got out hustled, right? Like the guys, as Bill Simmons said, who's a big fan of the show, the whole zombie thing, Miami just kept coming back from the dead. Boston thought Miami was dead, and they played like it. They bitched, and they whined, and they got their ass kicked in Game 7, and they deserved to lose. And I agree with Isaac. Boston, as we know it, is done.
Okay, a couple things. One, since you've already swore, it's all good. Just keep it going because it's already going to be. Yeah, it's going to be explicit. So
okay, Boston, eat shit. You're a bunch of racist bastards, and I hate you. Listen, Boston, you're a great sports team. Lots of cool stuff happens, but you deserve to lose this. If you weren't such racist ass hats, then you wouldn't have lost. Because guess what? You'd have a better fan base. You'd probably have a better coach, and you'd have concentration for 24 seconds. You lost because you lost your focus. You lost your edge.
Good. That was great. That was a really good run. That was
Thank you.
Very, very well done.
A little passionate. Passionate.
That kind of, I got flashbacks to Jimmy in 2020 when he was just dominating. Like, that's what just happened. That was a 30-point triple-double in the past 2 minutes. It was awesome. So Game 7. I will admit, again, I bought into the 10-point underdogs. I was still living with the pain from Game 6, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go and hoop with some buddies, and I'll check the score, and we'll see where I'm at. I'm not going to watch tip, is what I said. And that's what I did. And then it was like, oh, Boston's up. Oh, sorry. Miami's up 4. Oh, Miami's up 7. Miami's up 12. So then we were all
not
checking.
texting you.
You were not texting me. I was checking a lot. I was checking like numbers like crazy because I wasn't able to just remember. Because I'm hooping and I'm like, man, like at the same time, Jimmy's hooping right now in Boston. So I was a little like, I tried to. Do you know how in ET, when ET and Elliot are kind of connected, and there's no explanation?
You and Jimmy were connected.
With no explanation, I think is that what we had.
Fair enough.
So Game 7, I watched the fourth quarter live. I went back and watched a lot of tape. I watched a lot of Brown stuff. Watched a lot of Tatum stuff. Obviously, I watched all of Jimmy.
Do you agree with my small ball 5 analogy for Boston? Because the zone killed Boston.
Yeah, I like the idea of Tatum at the 5, especially against Miami, because I don't really have a real center. I just don't think Tatum is tough enough to be. I don't know. I would love to see it because that's a really like if you do that, that's super scary. But we can't do that because I don't think Tatum's built like that. Tatum ain't him. Is Tatum him?
Nope.
Nah,
he's got all the talent in the world.
He's sauce though.
Yep.
Okay.
He's mid.
Yeah, he's say it again.
He's mid.
Who is?
Tatum is mid.
Yeah, you tell him. So I want to thank Jimmy for this ride again. Look, I would have been fine if the Knicks swept them. What I got from Milwaukee in that series was enough. Okay, this is a big deal.
Okay.
Who deserved Eastern Conference Finals MVP?
Jimmy.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. On Monday nights, what happens is sometimes I play with Isaac on his team.
This is gonna be
right. So what happens is Isaac is a much better basketball player than I am.
Thanks.
So Bo is probably guarding him a lot. Who's a dog defender?
Yeah.
Then whoever's guarding me, let's call him TJ. What happens? TJ goes to double. So TJ and Bo are all over Isaac. He does a jump pass to me, and I had a wide open 15-footer. Baseline,
like
my baseline J's okay.
It's like an 8-footer.
Call it 13 feet.
Okay.
Okay. So I get the points, right? Maybe even I get the points, or maybe I miss the jumper, I get a rebound, and then I get a bucket. So I'm getting stats. Why? Because TJ and Bo are all over Isaac. Let's not remember that the focus is on Jimmy. Caleb played great, but the focus is on Jimmy. He deserves the MVP. Yes, was he a little limited? Did he miss some shots that he probably should have made in the paint, especially if he's healthy? Yes. He's the MVP.
Excellent. I have the numbers here. I won't go through them. Jimmy was better in essentially every number except some efficiency stuff. Caleb only started 2 of 7 games, and I love Caleb, but like 19-6, 2-1-1. Jimmy 25-8-6-3. The numbers. It was Jimmy's award, so those saying Caleb deserved it, respectfully, Jimmy deserved it. And like it's
Listen,
not.
Caleb
really
had the series of his life,
and he averaged 19 a game.
Yeah.
And Jimmy averaged 25 a game with 6 dimes and 8 boards, and just
a couple of games he had 14 or 16 points because they got blown out and he didn't play a lot.
Yeah, we don't talk about the sad
because he's on one foot.
Yeah, and one knee too.
Okay, anything else for this series?
Just I want to thank Jimmy. Thank you for this ride. Legendary, psychotic stuff. Never forget it. Jimmy, you're the man. Solidified himself as a Hall of Famer. That's all I got here.
Okay, we'll quickly talk about the Lakers and the Nuggets. I know a lot of people don't want to talk about it anymore because it's done. It was almost 2 weeks ago. Jokic and Murray, the best twosome together in NBA. There's twosomes that are better, but if I'm picking 2 guys to play together and they just ate the Lakers for lunch. Too much.
Keep going.
I think the season has to be declared a success for the Lakers, even though they are not thinking it is a success. They started off 2-10, and they made it to the semifinals. I don't know. LeBron and AD is like a box of chocolates.
I saw this, and this is excellent. Keep going.
You know what? Well, what did Forrest say? Mama said life is like a box of chocolates because you never know what you're going to get inside. That's like AD. He's a green banana. It could turn out to be yellow and delicious, or it could stay green. It could stay green and then become brown and become poopy. That's Davis. Sorry about your luck. You had some games where AD wasn't very good. They just didn't have enough depth around them. I think we're done talking about the Lakers until probably tomorrow, because I'm sure there'll be some huge headline about some specialist that LeBron's going to go see in Mars to fix his ankle.
That's great. I got 2 points here. One, LeBron, the whole retirement stuff. We'll keep it to a minimum. It's as simple as this, and I'm sure you'll agree. It is highly unlikely that he retires, and it is certain that he does not stay retired. I think I'm 2 for 2 there.
Agreed.
Okay. One of his signature cryptic comments regarding his future with the team is that's nothing new. This has been his thing for the past 15 years. It's nothing. Maybe more than 15 years. This is nothing new. The Nuggets. Nuggets have a massive chip. And
they've done a good job keeping that chip.
And Mike
I give
Malone,
Malone some credit.
He's just a dog. He's always pissed off. I do like Michael Malone now.
He gives them an edge.
Do you have any more Nuggets, Lakers? Do you have anything like you did your Davis bit? You did your
Mike Malone is a great coach, and that means he's half as good a coach as Spo. We didn't really talk about Spo. He was playing chess. Everybody else is playing checkers. He's playing chess.
Okay, so really quick, I'll do a Spo thing. So Spo's the man, and I showed you the presser. Spo, after the white tipping in Game 6, sat down like a psycho. Like, his eyes are like this. And he's just like, I don't know how, but we're going to go up there and we're going to get it done. And if we can tip off right now, I'd tip off right. And he's just like guaranteeing a win. And Spo doesn't do that stuff. And You saw that look, and he's like, we've got 48 hours to figure out how we're going to do it, and we're going to do it. And it's like, yeah, man. Like, I'm ready to run through a brick wall for you, Spo. He's the man. Nuggets Heat. I will let you open things up.
Listen. A lot of things going against the Heat, but people have been betting against them all year. Here's the things that are going against the Heat. They are tired. They're beat up. They're going to Denver to play an atmosphere, right? 5,400 feet above sea level. You get tired there. And obviously the Heat don't have a whole lot of depth. Briefly.
Yeah, okay. Did you experience the altitude while you were there?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, that's cool.
We were, on a layout. Like a layover on an airplane, so we were there for 3 hours. So we went outside and went for a little run. We got really tired really quickly.
Awesome.
And then we went back to the bar and had a couple beers, because that's what you do at airport bars.
That's exactly what you do.
That's
Great content.
Yep.
Okay, keep going.
I just think this matches up poorly for the Heat. Does it mean it's going to be an easy series? No. Everybody's talking about a sweep. Honestly, I'm wavering between 5 and 7 games. I don't really have an answer yet. And I'm not going to have an answer until tomorrow, right before game time. I got to do a bit more research. Like, I guess Gordon is going to guard Jimmy. Then I don't know how the rest of that plays out.
The matchups are very. It's. I don't really know where to look out. I don't know what it's going to see. You're right.
Here's the problem with the Heat, right? Bam hasn't historically done a great job against Jokic. Very few people have done a very good job against Jokic. The best play is to get another big, who's the primary defender, and then Bam is the help defender. So who's that? Love off of the rocking chair? Like Zeller? Like, what are they going to do? Highsmith?
No, it doesn't work. I'll jump here. There's a list of reasons. The list of reasons why Denver should win is massive. Really quickly. They've got the best player in the league. I've been a Giannis guy for a while. It's hard to say Jokic isn't better right now. I think Jokic is.
I agree.
Denver has 10 days rest. Miami has like 2. Denver has home court in addition to altitude, right? They've got the first 2 games at home plus Game 7, and then they have the altitude thing, and they're fully healthy. Like, I can't find anything about anyone being
obviously, if Miami somehow able to steal Game 2, we got a series. It's going to be tough.
So Gordon's a big.
Are we making
defender.
a prediction tonight?
Yeah. But, like, let me do a little bit here. Okay. I have a funny joke thing to do. Gordon is going to be on Jimmy. Denver torched the Heat zone in the regular season, so I'm not really sure what Miami's going to do defensively. You're just going to throw a lot of different looks at Jokic because Bam cannot guard him one-on-one. Not a shot at Bam. Nobody can guard Jokic one-on-one. Underrated thing people aren't talking about here. Jokic is not going to have to stop Bam from scoring.
Correct.
So Jokic Miami's going to put him through all sorts of screen action.
He's just going to stay back.
But Jokic had to play a lot of defense against the Lakers, and honestly, a fair amount against Minnesota. He's not going to have to play nearly as much this round. Just putting that out there. I have some jokey stuff on how Miami can win. Would you like to hear?
Please.
It's jokes. Okay.
No, but there's some serious stuff.
Yeah, I only wrote down the joke stuff.
Okay.
Okay. So do you know what a back to tank is? It's the thing in Empire Strikes Back where Luke goes in to heal, and he's like that cool, like Darth Vader has one. So we're putting Jimmy in there right now.
Oh, okay. That's good.
So Jimmy's going in there, and then after that...
Does Mandalorian go in that?
Boba Fett does.
Boba Fett, okay.
So after Jimmy's in that tank, we're taking him out. The adamantium procedure that Wolverine had,
yeah,
we're just doing that for Jimmy.
Oh, that's a good idea.
It's long overdue.
Fair enough.
We're gonna do that. We don't only have the enough money to do it.
He might have had it already.
I don't know, but he's again. Okay, so Jimmy's getting that. Tyler Hero, he's got the hand issue. I already talked to Winter Soldier. We're just gonna get his whole arm. We're gonna get the Winter Soldier arm, put that on Tyler Hero.
That's a good idea.
So that's gonna fix his hand and his arm. RoboCop procedures on Vincent, Hero 2, Love, and Depot. We're gonna do just RoboCop procedures. So we're gonna lose some personality.
Depot, you get him RoboCop, and then he can guard Murray close.
Or what we can do is DeLorean time travel back to 2018 to get third team All NBA Oladipo. Is that eligible? Can we do that?
Just do a little portal thing. You don't even need a DeLorean.
Doctor Strange.
Yep.
Oh, well, it gets goofy with time stuff there. We might need Tony. We got to bring him back too.
Yeah, we probably do.
We're gonna get 2018 Depot. We're gonna get him. Bam. It's a mental thing with Bam.
So 2 years ago, he didn't really have offense last year either.
No, it's what's the mental thing? Michael's Secret Stuff. You ever seen Space Jam?
Yeah.
We're getting some of that for Bam, and we're gonna fix him mentally, and that's how Miami wins this series. Those are the jokes. How for real is Miami gonna win?
Denver is not nearly the defensive team that Boston is. So Jimmy is going to have a much easier time getting looks. He's going to have an easier time scoring. Don't chuckle at this one. Bam is actually going to find a little bit of his offensive touch.
So my buddies are telling me.
What's going to happen is that's going to bring more focus to Jimmy and to Bam and leave these guys open for shots. Dunks, Strus, obviously Caleb Martin. Lowry is going to get a little bit of Michael Secret stuff, and he's going to have some important minutes. All of this leads to maybe a 7-game series. I don't see Miami winning. I see Miami extending the series, giving them a tough go. I have to make a prediction. My prediction is Denver in 5. Sorry.
So it's okay. I mean, it's okay. Now, I have no reason to pick Miami, right? Like, they should not win this series. And I've been picking against them since the first round.
Correct. Oh, no, did you pick them against the Knicks?
New York, I had money on Miami to beat the Knicks.
Though.
You're right.
Knicks shoot bricks.
Yeah, the Knicks suck. So like, if I pick the Heat now, I don't want to screw with my mojo. I just had some pretty negative mojo for like the past week and a half, and it worked out. So I'm going to go with Nuggets in 7. I'm pushing it to 7 here, but Denver's going to win. That's kind of where I'm at, the Game 7 altitude. I'm dying to say Heat in 6. Dying to say it. But I'm not going to. I'm going to go Nuggets in 7. This Heat team, look, what if this is the year? What if this is FDU, right? Or FAU. I don't know. Nuggets in 7. But, man, I don't know, man. I'm just putting that out there.
Listen, Miami's had a very successful season, but it's not done yet. That's why they play the games.
Yep, that's why they play them.
Okay.
Movie endings.
Best movie endings. We love movies. Movies are great. We've been talking about this for a little bit. Best movie endings. Lots of great ones. We're going to do a draft. Probably 10 each.
Okay. Did not know it was a draft.
Or do we just want to...
I think we just run through them because you can't really draft movie endings.
Okay,
right?
So I'm going to say my list. You're going to say your list. And then the fans are going to say Team Town Nation's list is much better.
I think there's a more efficient way. I think we just knock off a boom, boom, right? So just we'll just do 4 at a time. How's that?
That sounds good.
Okay, you can start.
Shawshank. Awesome. Best ever. What's in the box? 7. So good. Usual Suspects, the Kaiser Sose transformation. And then in no particular order, Good Will Hunting. And Robin Williams says that son of a bitch stole my line. There's 4 solid ones to start.
Some really good ones. I wanted to talk about some of them, but that's fine. I just really quickly, I wrote this down. To love an ending of a movie, you have to love the movie.
Yeah, there's a couple of movies on here. A couple movies that I didn't love them, but they obviously cranked up a couple of notches with a good ending.
I just think to love an ending, you have to love the journey to get there, to get a little deep here. So I love all of these movies, in short. Any sport movie ever, Karate Kid, Rudy, all the Rockies, Warrior, favorite Rocky ending.
Not Rocky 5.
It doesn't count. What's your favorite Rocky ending?
Rocky 2. 10! Yo, Adrian, I did it!
That's exactly, yes. Apologize to the ear rape.
Sorry, ear rape. People. Big E.
Yeah. There's a lot of great sport movie endings. Warrior sticks with me. I love that ending with the song, and it's just so good. Return of the Jedi. This is probably my favorite Star Wars ending. It's tough. I went through them all. The throne room sequence into the stuff with the Ewoks is just awesome. When the Ewoks are like hitting the stormtroopers' helmets, like that's sweet. That gets me going. Dead Poets Society. Do you not have that written down?
How do I not have that one down?
A little surprised. I thought you would.
Oh my gosh, that's a miss. Big miss on my part.
Oh, Captain, My Captain. I rewatched it not that long ago.
So good.
Robin Williams. Any comments for Robin Williams?
Rest in peace, Robin Williams. He was an artist. He was magic.
Peace out, Robin Williams.
Yeah.
He was him. And then Braveheart. I love the Braveheart ending. Mel Gibson sucks, but Braveheart, great movie.
Shout out to Stu.
Freedom! And shout out Robin Williams.
Okay.
Peace out.
I'm just going to go through. So I had Rocky 2 down. Fight Club.
Yes.
Tyler Durden, figment of his imagination. Like, so good.
What's the song that plays?
Oh, I don't know.
Who's it by?
Don't know.
I thought you'd get one of them. Where Is My Mind? Pixies. Good tune.
All
Fight
right.
Club. Awesome. Thanks for saying that.
Actually, I have Empire Strikes Back because that ending was just shocking. Because I saw it in theaters in 1980.
Give us the story.
No, I was just a little nerdy kid. I was 11 years old. I saw Empire Strikes Back, and there was no rumors or anything like that. So I went with my buddies. Granny drove. I think Steve Chan,
Shout out Granny.
Martino Neglia, Robbie Turnbull. I think we went to the show, and then Jeff Lemieux as well.
Yeah.
Empire Strikes Back, and it was just shocking. Like, we were just flabbergasted. Luke, I am your father. Oh my God, that was crazy. Okay,
Man, that's so cool. I love that stuff. That's good content.
one more here. Silence of the Lambs. I'm having an old friend for dinner.
Yeah.
So good.
Yep, great. So Shawshank you talked about. Seven you talked about. Fight Club you talked about. Gladiator, I love the Gladiator ending when he goes to the afterlife with the wife and kid. Like, that's awesome. And this great song plays. Oh, you not a big Gladiator guy?
I like the movie more than I like the ending.
What?
I didn't want him to die.
Oh, I disagree. Because if
I know it's the best way to do it, but I wanted him to live.
Okay, that's fine. Spider-Man 1, I went with here. Original Tobey Spider-Man ends with the Uncle Ben line replaying in his head, which has been my background for the past 3 years, that quote. And then it ends with Spider-Man swinging through New York, and it just gets me fired up. Awesome movie. I'll let you run with a few now. I got 8 left.
Breakfast Club, Judd Nelson punching in the air as he's walking to the goalpost. Spectacular 80s movie. Life is Beautiful, where the little kid thinks the tank is his prize at the end of the movie. Scarface, Say Hello to My Little Friend.
When's the last time you watched Scarface, bro?
I saw the ending not that long ago. And The Game with Michael Douglas.
First of all, I haven't seen The Game. It's on my list.
It's a good movie, but the ending is much better than the movie.
Because I'm a huge Michael Douglas guy.
Yeah.
What did I call you out on? I called you out on something. Scarface. You responded so quickly. If you go back and listen to it, it's almost like you had it written down. Like, he's going to ask me when I last watched this. I watched the ending recently. That's how you responded so quick. Like, it was like, when's the last time you saw that?
Well, my brain just works quicker than yours. I'm sorry.
Be careful.
Okay, yes. Moving on.
Number 8, Man on Fire.
Yeah.
The Creasy swap here. Just awesome. And the music is great.
That was a spectacular movie.
Great movie. Equalizer 3 coming out in a few months. Can't wait. Pursuit of Happiness. Do you not have this written down?
I don't have it written down. It should.
This was one of the first ones I just...
That stuck with you.
He gets the job, and the best is it shows him like on the sidewalk, and he's taller than everybody. He's Will Smith, and he's just doing this big clapping thing, and it just gets you going. Awesome. All of the endings of the 3 Dark Knight movies are fantastic.
Yep.
Really quickly, Batman Begins ends with the Joker card. Dark Knight is my favorite. It ends with "Set the dogs on me," and he's going, and then Gordon's son is Batman, why are you running, Batman? And then it's like, we got to chase him. Gordon's like, we got to get, and he's a watchful protector. It's so, I love Batman.
And then when they're in Paris and Michael Caine sees them?
That's Dark Knight Rises.
That's pretty cool.
When he gives him the nod and it just, it's
I've always liked Dark Knight Rises more than you.
More than me. But the 3 Dark Knight endings, all awesome. What else?
I didn't put a ton of sports and superhero movies because that would just be my whole list.
Yeah.
But I do have some sport ones. Hoosiers, I'll make it. Jimmy Chitwood, we've all looked up. Sorry, if you haven't looked up his stats from the game, he's 18 for 24 from the field. It's just so good.
So just Jimmy against Milwaukee stats.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
The Truman Show, escaping that crazy world, and he gets the girl at the end.
I don't have that written down, but awesome.
Pretty good. Yep.
I don't know if you remember my Truman Show thing. You showed me a lot of movies when I was too young, and most of them landed. Yep. This one didn't land. I did not like it as a kid.
It's weird. To what? Sorry, to show it as an 8-year-old is probably a little much.
Well, it's okay. You showed me all sorts. But I watched this when I was older. I'm like, this is so good. I love Truman Show.
Yep. And great idea.
I've got 5 left.
Okay, I got about 5 left as well. I'm going to tell you one more that it's not mine. A couple of girls at work I did ask. Dirty Dancing, that I had the time of my life ending, where he lifts the girl in the air at the end.
So, spoiler alert, I looked at your notes because I had to cut some stuff. And I saw Dirty Dancing, and I was in the midst of making the graphic for this episode. Yeah. Dirty Dancing's going on the graphic because that's hilarious. That was one of your best movie endings of all time.
That's a shout out to Megan and Tia.
Okay. Dirty Dancing mid, respectfully. Do you agree?
Sus.
That's so good. Okay, I got 5 more.
Okay.
Inglourious Bastards. Great.
Thought about it. Yeah, didn't write it down, but real good.
It ends with Brad Pitt scalping some Nazis and then carves a symbol into Hans Landa's head, and then he looks in the camera and says, "This just might be my masterpiece," which is Tarantino telling us this is his best movie. Drive with Ryan Gosling. I won't talk about it long because it's a deep cut. But
I don't think I've seen it.
So good. Just watch Drive. It's fantastic.
Okay.
Whiplash.
Thought about it. I didn't write it down, but I probably should have. So good.
Whiplash ends with the awesome drum solo.
Yep.
La La Land won't talk about, but it's by the dude who did Whiplash, so that's why I grouped them here. Both great endings. I have 2 more, the 2 most recent ones.
Hang on. Rudy carried off the field. Awesome. Yeah. So good. Few good men, right? You can't handle the truth. Yes, I ordered the Code Red. Great finish. Both Top Gun movies. Hollywood endings, but great endings.
Top Gun 2 ends with him doing the fly around after he's rescued.
Yeah, but
how does Top Gun 1 end? I forget.
He had the fight with the Russians, and he did the flyby as well.
And then it ends with Iceman. They dap each other up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, I have 2 more.
You go.
Get Out. The ending of Get Out.
Yeah.
I could say the whole hour and 45 minutes of Get Out, but specifically when in case you haven't seen it, when the car shows up.
Yeah, and his buddy shows up.
That's a spoiler.
Okay. Sorry. So good.
When the car shows up. He's a
buddy. He's the buddy from Departed.
Whose car we going to take?
Whose car we going to take?
Departed, great movie. That's The Town, by the way.
Oh, The Town, yeah.
Different Boston cop movie. So Get Out, the rescue, the drive up, Get Out's great. And then this is the most recent one. The ending to John Wick 4 is one of the best endings I've seen in a theater in my life, I think.
Oh, that was pretty good.
I think it was more than pretty good. Yeah. The way it all wraps up, not even, the battle, obviously, with Ip Man is sick. But the post-battle stuff is fantastic. So those are my movie endings. Tough to say a favorite. Obviously, you said Shawshank, probably the best ever.
There's so many good ones here.
Do you have anything else?
No, I think what you should do, fans, is you should just rewind this last 10 minutes, listen to it again, and jot down some movies to see over the next couple months. And please give us a note on our Instagram page or YouTube and just comment and say, hey, loved it. If you want to insert a clip or a picture, love to see that.
I don't think you can do that.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll show you how to do it later.
Okay.
By the way, I need a little bit of video help with something at work. We'll bug you about that afterwards. Listen, fans, thank you very much for the support. We love hearing from you. We want good things to Miami to happen in the finals, right? We want a good NBA finals.
It's okay.
And
we're happy.
Yeah.
We're so happy.
Sorry, Boston. Sorry, the Lakers. Who is unhappy about that? The TV executives. Sorry about your luck, fellas.
Yeah, Cancun finals on 3. You got Lakers and Celtics. Awesome. Anything else to the fans before we wrap up?
Nope. Peace out, everybody. Thanks very much.